Yep, we're back on Screen Quarter again, because we gotta stay consistent. What's up? What's happening? Welcome back to Image Stations for anything and animation, including TVs and movies as well. I'm your host, Jax the Small, and welcome to our first review of Season 3 of the Chucky television series. Now, for those of you that don't know, about, a week or so? Less than a week? Let me see. Yeah, in about less than a week. I have posted my reviews of Season 1 and Season 2 of the Chucky TV series. The Season 2 one just came out earlier today. You guys can go check that one out if you like. To get all caught up, that one is an episode-by-episode analysis. But Season 1 was a bit more of a generalization. That's because both of them are carryovers from my old channel, Cynical Saint 77, the failed channel that didn't really work out. So I'm bringing all the content I had on that channel over here in small bits and bytes. So at some point that channel will be gone and deleted only after I get all the stuff from there to here. Sound good? Alright. With all that said, diving into Season 3 of Chucky and what I think of the series so far. I really loved Season 1, and then Season 2, it almost fell completely off a cliff. It had some really good ideas. I was by no means bored, but I was just left baffled and scratching my head with a lot of the decisions that were being made. So, for that reason, I went into this new season a bit hesitant, not to mention, it's another one of those seasons where, just like with a certain other show I'm going to talk about another time, that it ended up getting split in half because of the writer's strike. Yeah. And it sucks how much stuff was affected by that thing. So, with all that said and done, I'm going to turn my hat around so my face is a little better to see in the light. And we're going to talk about Episode 1 of Season 3 of Chucky, called Murder at 1600. But before we begin, I want to give a little bit of a synopsis. A basic synopsis I found on the web for what this season's supposed to entail. So, here's a quick synopsis of this season overall, and then we'll get directly into just Episode 1. In Chucky's unending thirst for power, Season 3 now sees Chucky ensconced with the most powerful family in the world, America's first family, inside the infamous walls of the White House. How did Chucky wind up here? What in God's name does he want? And how can Jake, Devin, and Lexi possibly get to Chucky inside the world's most secure house, all while balancing the pressures of romantic relationships and growing up? Meanwhile, Tiffany faces a looming crisis of her own as the police close in on her for Jennifer Tilly's murderous rampage last season. So, that's the overall summary, at least from what we have so far. So, with all that said, let's dive right into Episode 1, Murder at 1600. And this is going to be very similar to some of my other reviews from the past, where I'm going to read off the plot and just talk about it piece by piece. So, yes, these are still full spoilers. You have been warned. So, no more ados or delays. Let's begin. In the White House, Henry is comforted by his mother Charlotte when he becomes scared of ghosts hiding in his closet. He finally takes solace that he has his doll, Joseph, to protect him, which is in fact Chucky. He gets tucked into bed and starts to fall asleep, and then the power goes out. The Secret Service gets the president and his family to safety by taking the elevator to their underground bunker. But not before Henry's agent Teddy has to locate Chucky before he's gone missing, as he has gone missing. Shortly after the power comes back on, one of the Secret Service agents finds that he has been bitten in the dark. Yeah, Chucky being Chucky. Fucking around with people because they don't believe in killer dolls. So, a decent start. One thing I should point out here, though, is that the president here is played by Devin Sawa again. Look, nothing against Devin Sawa. He's a great actor, and I understand that we've had a lot of recastings of same actors in different roles in this show already. I mean, heck, Lexi's dad was played by the really creepy asylum guy from Cult of Chucky, so it's nothing new, but, I mean, he's just played so many roles in only, 3 seasons. Let's see, he's played not Devin. He's played Jake's dad, he's played Jake's uncle, then he was Father Bryce, and now he's the president. Holy crap, dude. How many roles can one actor fill in one show? So that's probably going to lead me to believe when his character gets killed off here, and if this series does get a season 4, or if we get another movie, he's just going to come back again as yet another character. So it's going to be like a running gag that goes all throughout this franchise from here on out. Which I'm a little bit mixed about. I love Devon Sawa, he is a great actor, and of course, he originates from Final Destination, but I don't know, I just feel like they might be overusing him a bit too much. Just personal opinion. The next morning, Henry tells his father that Joseph doesn't want to go to school with him, and instead wants to see the Oval Office. During a conference, Press Secretary Melanie explains that President James and his family are safe, and the power outage was just an inconvenience. One reporter named Gretchen presses Melanie about the Collins administrative commitment to transparency. It is then revealed in the privacy of the Oval Office that the power outage was caused by a hack. As Melanie, Spence, and James are in the Oval Office to discuss the power outage, James insists that he does not want to bury the news or lie to the American people about it. James also introduces the Vice President and Melanie to Joseph, whom he brought along at Henry's request. He finds it odd that the doll has a name, as it is the name of his son who died the previous winter. As everyone leaves the room, Chucky steals a letter opener. Which, I mean, of course he's going to use to either kill or cause shenanigans later on. So, I mean, the opening's fine, it's okay, but I mean, not a whole lot really happens outside of the normal Chucky shenanigans we've seen before. When Henry returns home from school, he's still scared to go into his room. He asks his security detail, Teddy, to check for him. Once inside, Teddy bends down and spots Chucky, confused as the doll has the letter opener tucked in his overalls. Chucky takes this moment of opportunity to steal Teddy's gun and shoot him in the head. Yeah, he makes it look like a self-inflicted suicide. And it's nice and graphic, I'll give them that, but, I mean, it's just a shot in the head. I'm sorry, but as far as Chucky kills go, that's a little basic. Chucky then takes the moment of opportunity to steal Teddy's... I already read that, sorry. The press secretary informs the public of his death, which has been ruled as a suicide, because Chucky was able to frame it as being self-inflicted, because it was done like this. So, yeah. While smoking pot, James and Charlotte decide to let Henry keep Joseph, especially after the loss of his brother and now Teddy. At Teddy's funeral, Gretchen lurks on the outskirts. She is informed by an inside source that Teddy bought tickets for a cruise with his family just days before his suicide. And that funeral is the scene you see right here. Meanwhile, Jake has moved into live streaming his art, so he gets back to making his doll sculptures, which, I mean, I'm happy for him. We finally get to see more of that after it was pretty much jettisoned completely from Season 2. And he is on request to find a good guy doll to complete his final work. Again, calling back to Season 1. Lexi is becoming popular on TikTok, hoping a larger following will help amplify her efforts to find her sister Caroline. I mean, smart of her to try to use TikTok to try and find Caroline, but it just feels like the show going too modern. I'm sorry. This whole social media influencer thing just makes me cringe. In shows, not in real life. In shows, when I see that, it makes me cringe because it's always done poorly. Anywho, she shows her followers a recent photo of Caroline and tells her sister she's going to bring her home. Devin has returned to podcasting his true crime podcast, specifically on Charles Lee Ray and the urban legend of Chucky. The following morning, Jake and Devin attempt to take their relationship to the next level when Chucky texts the three of them. He then calls them an unlisted number, and when they ask where he is, he taunts them that his new residence has strict policies against visitors. Chucky being Chucky. like we all love to see. Later that day, as their guardian, Miss Fairchild, scores their recent tests, the three discuss their call from Chucky. Devin reasons that only the Pentagon and the CIA can make a number non-exist, like Chucky's call. Just then they see a news story about Teddy's funeral and Henry holding a good guy doll, and they then make their plan to travel to the White House and kill Chucky once and for all. So, that's basically the plot of the episode. It's definitely very much a starter episode. Not a whole lot happens outside of one death and one little scene of him biting somebody, but outside of that, it's fine, it's solid, but I don't know. I feel like the starters of the last two seasons were better. I don't know. Maybe it was a constraint from this whole writer's strike being brought forth or some other stuff. I don't know. What I do know is that this episode's fine. It's okay. And it's not, like, overly goofy and silly, so it's not going Seed of Chucky, which already makes it better than Season 2, but at the same time, not a whole lot happens. And again, it's the first season. You can't have it all happen in one episode, I know, but I feel like in the starters episodes of Season 1 and 2, they were able to have more stuff happen and have me more engaged in the story, more so than this. So, yeah, as a starter episode, it's fine. As a Chucky episode, it's fine. But it's the weakest of the three season starter episodes. So, that's really all I've got. Final verdict for this episode. You know what? I'll give it a little bit of a bump because that death is really cool. So, final verdict is a 6 out of 10 for this first episode. And hopefully it gets a lot better very quickly, or we might be in for a real rough ride. So, I don't know, we'll see. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Jad Small of Animation Station. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you want more videos like this almost every single day. Sorry, I can't talk today. And stay tuned because we still have a bunch more episodes of the Chucky TV series to go through together. Starting next time with episode 2, titled... What was the title of episode 2? Thank you. Let the Right One In. So, I'll see you tomorrow for that review. Until then, thanks for watching, have a nice day, and enjoy the Xenoverse 2 live stream.
We cannot take it anymore. The time has come to go. Prepare to fight. We're ready for